Hello and welcome back to the Bear Cave. Today I'd like to try to finish off the series of guides we've been doing on Purple's run through the epic levels. The last one is the base level 27 chain, the Stormhorns, and the quest givers are found at the end of the bridge in Evening Star to the northeast side of Evening Star here. And then you want to go into the it's marked on the map there with the yellow cross, the Stormhorn area. So we want to pick up, similar to the Wayloon chain, there are 4 quests to pick up to start with. The Tracker's Trap, Lines of Supply, Breaking the Ranks,
Fate has sent us down
and
this path. Now let's explore it.
a Break in the Ice. And then we make our way into the Stormhorns Wilderness. Now this again can be a bit of a getting lost area when you're new to the place. There's basically, as you're coming in, there's 1 quest to the right, 1 to the left, and 3 up at the top, including the final part of the chain, the what goes up, which you have to complete the other 4 before you can access. Now, importantly, this guy can take you to places you've already been, teleport you, but to do that you've got to touch some specific markers, which I will show you on our way round where those are, because that can be very useful, especially given the fact that you have to recall out of the area to collect the last quest in the chain once you've flagged for it. So we're going to start with the Tracker's Trap, which is to the east of the entry point there, you can see on the map. Now I don't know how we will go on in Reaper here, because he's still got some heroic gear on, and the epic destinies are not particularly amazing, and it's kind of a tanky build, so it's really designed to have people around it. But let's give it a try, see how we go on. If it's too slow or too painful, we can knock it down to elite for the rest of it. So you start off by talking to this guy.
Ah, you're here. Be a good sport and lend me a hand. My journal's
Just do a bit of buffing. Well,
can't have gone far. It's somewhere in this glade. I've lost too many pages as it is.
now a little tip, there's a fight in here normally. If you want to avoid the fight and just continue on, you can click on his
How
journal,
did I ever miss it there?
click on the bushes there, use, and you can go through and into the main body of the quest
Wizards appear at the end of the glade.
without having to do the fight.
Spying little nobleman,
Says one.
that is rich.
Oops, I've
Now
pressed the
let
wrong
this
key there. We
game
want
end.
that one.
I have
don't
already won.
we? Okay. Oh, what's that I just did? Oh, the keys are a bit... I've just been playing as fools, and the keys for things are somewhat different. So I'm going to be acclimatizing a bit, shall we say. Some of those sections with the earth over them are actually pit traps, so be a little bit careful. Oh, oh. That's one thing with the Reapers. Unlike with Fools, I don't have a means to hold them with this character. I just have to hope I can outlast them. Oh, that's not good. really not good. What we got? 10 seconds of being stuck there. This is a test of his tankiness. Now this could be a pit. No. Let's try and get... Oh, there's a caster there. Try and get them to surround us. This character seems to do best when everything's surrounding it. It doesn't like people in bits and pieces. This has got to be a pit, surely. No. Oh, have I just gone back on myself? Actually, I'm terrible for getting disoriented and going back the wrong way. That was abysmal. Now we have a choice. It's been a while since I did this quest, but I think it's this way.
Gnolls stand guard over a magic barrier.
Okay. So far, not too bad.
More magic barriers. These caves must be where the nether is.
Now I don't have, well the tentacles is an element of crowd control, but I don't have a very high save on it, so I don't expect it to work too often. But there is a non-resistible slow element to that. The same as with this sleet storm. Just make sure with the sleet storm that you and your party have freedom of movement, otherwise you'll be getting into quite a bit of trouble with the other party members, as I have on occasion in our little group. Now comes the real problem. This giant not only hits quite hard, he has a lot of hit points, so it's going to take quite a long time to beat this guy down. I'm doing my best to throw all the damaging spells I can to try and speed it up a bit, but even so it's going to take a while. The Shard Storm from the Primal is great for a tanky build like this, because as well as damaging the opponent and attracting him to hit you, it gives you a temporary hit point boost, which is what the build's all about. Beautiful. Well, that went a lot better than expected. There is an optional to collect all these little journal pages you see on your travels. I'm not going to attempt it because I always, whenever I try, I spend time trying to collect and I always miss one or two. So I'll just leave it. Just to reiterate, Purple has no epic lives at all at present, so I've been more than happy with how he's performed on his way up to the cap. I've got some end game gear ready for him, and I'm going to try and turn him into a bit of a tanky character who might be able to help in our little games. We do short man raids with our little group, and I guess middle Reaper questing 6, 7. Now if he could manage in Reaper 6 without dying too horribly in the Legendary, I would be delighted at that. I'm not convinced he will, but we'll see. He's doing a lot better than I expected with the damage, but that's partly because I'm cheating by putting extra points in the primal tree. His main tree when he gets to the cap will be the sentinel, but he doesn't have many points in there at the moment. So he's less tanky but more damage, which alone you just need the damage, otherwise I'd be here forever. And also the going in the primal trees allowing me to have this evergreen, which the spell points are basically never running out, which is very nice when you're on your own.
Shy stands in the clearing, barring your way. She's Amskar has ordered your death. Let's make his painless for me. With a gesture, she draws on orbs in the corners of the glade, shielding herself with a protective spell.
Okay, so if you don't know this quest, you'll have been able to follow it on the map the ways I took, and after you kill the waves of opponents, you've got to each time knock down these orbs, and once you knock both of them down, the wizard becomes vulnerable and you can chip away a bit at them, after which you have to do the same procedure again. Try not to get too close to the orbs because they have this thing where they push you away, blow you off the top of the thing and push you away.
Goes down. Taking a breath, Shy deftly casts a spell, restoring both her shield and the orbs.
I would try to eliminate the trash as it pops up, rather than just leave it there as I nearly did, because if you let it build up, that's not usually a good thing. But the people over there across there, they're going to come to me eventually, but I'm not going to invite them before the time. If I had half a brain, I would switch to the long range blast to get these.
Taking a breath, Shy deftly casts a spell, restoring both her shield and
Still
the
watching
orbs.
for those coming. There's two Reapers over there. I'm kind of got an eye on. Oh, here they come! Here they come! Oh God! I really want to be hit by all that stuff at once. Now that's another advantage of the of this build. When the Plague Reaper hits you, your self-healing is almost non-existent, but given that most of this stuff is relying on temporary hit points, it doesn't hurt quite so much when the Plague hits. Combination of tentacles and arcane tempest is serving me very well at the moment, and it's the reason I'm not using the Tensus transformation. That would make me more tanky, but put those two spells on a double long cooldown, which at the moment I really don't want because I'm the only one doing the damage.
Pseudo-dragon falls to the ground, dead. Shy flies into a rage at the loss of her faithful familiar. You want to get
Nice.
the nobleman.
Well, that went a lot better than expected.
With her final breaths, Amskar took him up to the peak.
So that's that. We will double recall out back to the start point because the other quest down at the bottom is all the way to the west as we look at it. Okay, so straight back in. And just the opposite way, across the log in the river area and pick up the path on the other side. Now from memory, just following this path, can get where we want to go. I'll show you on the map. See, we've quite a ways to go, but we're going the right way. Tumble Rock Pass. That's one of the good things about this this Warlock build. If you happen to get disconnected or you're away from the keyboard, the chances are the Aura Pulse will both keep you alive with the temporary hit points and kill anything that comes up to you, especially in a wilderness area where the things are not doing particularly high damage and don't take too much to kill. I think we just keep following the path and we should get to the Tumble Rock Pass. Now on the way there is one of the markers I was talking about to be able to be restored to a point on the map, to teleport to the point on the map. So I'll try and show that too. And in fact that is here. So we're just on the eastern banks of this lake. You see there's a campfire and a tent and a little sign, Harper sign there. You just click on that and it'll tell you a Southwest Harper camp discovered. So now if we ever want to go back here, we can do so by asking the teleporter guy at the start to do that for us, because you can only go back obviously to one that you've previously visited. Why would we want to go back there? Well, if we just had time, say, for this one quest, that marker we've just passed is kind of at the foot of the way to go into the top area, the snowy peaks where the rest of the quests in this area are. We'll keep trying them with Reaper 1 because we did okay last time. So we speak to this lady
the harbor gestures to the edge of the camp.
and the timer starts. We've got 5 minutes before monsters start spawning from a cave mouth at the bottom. So during that time we can make ourselves useful by clearing out some of these archers at the top of the pass. There's a little optional XP bonus if you happen to get them all, and we can break some of the breakables because there aren't too many of those, and there's a bonus for doing that too.
Gnolls snipe down from the edge of the cliff, a threat to anyone below.
So this is the kind of thing that Purple does not like, the 1s and 2s. He'll be much more suited to what's going to happen down at the bottom, the big groups of things. Or indeed this kind of situation. The Fear Reaper, as noted in my section on Reapers, you want to be right up in his face so he doesn't hit you with that ticking aura. Or you want to be as far away from him as possible. Sort of intermediate range, you're going to get these stacks of fear on you, and it builds up over time to become quite unmanageable. Definitely one of these builds that takes as long to kill one as it would to kill 21, likely as not. Although, when we get to where we're going at the cap, I'm hopeful I won't have to do too much of the killing, just keep their attention for other people to do the killing. Which will be a new experience for me because I've never built any kind of a tank character before. Although I'm aware that a warlock is no substitute for a good paladin. So that's our ransack bonus, I think, for the breakables, yeah. I tend not to bother too much with the breakables because if it becomes just a quest of break 100 breakables, I just think ugh. But if there's only a handful and it gets you a little bonus, I think, well, yeah, let's have a go. Oh, one thing I forgot to do, I stopped and picked up some potions, erosion and light for the acid and light spell power. So let's start making use of those once the enemy hordes start pouring out of here. Basically, you have to kill so many lines of enemy troops coming out of here. The number one though is obviously to survive. If you find yourself in trouble, there is a shrine back down there that we passed. But if it's a choice between, you know, eliminating all the opponents and surviving yourself, just let one or two of them through. It's just a little optional XP that you lose. It's not nothing to get upset about. I've chosen Shifter for this build because it offers the most options in terms of constitution, and this is a constitution build, not a charisma build as the other warlocks are.
The time for preparation is over. The Netherese convoys are entering Tumble Rock Pass.
So you can see they were all saving against something there, but let's try and prepare a bit better. We'll put some Sleet Storm down here. Don't want to let those archers build up too much. Now these ones that are wandering off are the ones that that really need to be killed. The archers are not part of the main objective, but they are in so much as we need to stay alive. Oops. seem to do that.
In a chest.
I think you're definitely seeing Purple in his element here. Big packs of things all over the place. And the fact they've stopped suggests that one might have escaped. Oh no. I thought one might have escaped. The nice thing about some of the spells he's using, like the Tempest, you don't have to have too high of a DC to make them work. Yes, they can save initially, but as I understand it, if they stay in the spell's area, which they tend to do because they're crowding around him, then they take damage regardless. So that's a nice one to try if you're trying to put out a bit more damage. Great stuff. Okay, so let's collect our things.
The camp at the end of the valley. An armed party just you've eliminated.
And as you can see, I wasn't able to make any kind of dent in the spell points, even though I was throwing quite a few. A lot of them are, I mean, the two blasts cost nothing, they're just warlock abilities. These two spell-like abilities from Primal, they're what, 2 and 20, so that's not going to break the bank. So the only big ones are the Tentacles and Tempest. I have both with all the available meta magics, and even so couldn't make a dent in the spell points, so that evergreen really is good. So now we just go back to this camp where we have a few more enemies and the big end boss. We've got these sort of rank and file first, and when we beat these we'll get the big... Oh no, I thought he was going to wait for us to beat these. Clearly he didn't want to wait. Okay. Now we'll find out how much of a battering he can take. He's not doing too bad. He just takes his time to chip these big things down. Basically just keeping going with these 4 spell-like abilities and supplementing the damage with the Arcane Tempest and Tentacles whenever they come off cooldown.
The giant general
nice.
And with him goes the scheme to supply the Netherese army across Tumble
now
Pass.
if you have a DDO, or if you want to bother to walk back up, you can collect another chest or 2 up at the top. I think it depends on how many of the opposing ranks that you stopped completely. And that's that. So those are the two on the, let's call it the ground level or base level, and the rest of the stuff is up into the mountains area, and that is where I've had big problems in the past. I think you need to know what to look for. There is a path on the wiki section for this, I think. You need to know where the kind of entrance is to go up into the mountains, otherwise you can be sort of wandering around on the bottom section, not able to access where you need to go. So I'll try to show you. It's very near that marker that we already unlocked, the entrance to the sort of upper section. There might be more than one, but the one I know is near that marker. Actually, I think I've already made a wrong turn here, haven't I? My bad. Let's go back to the marker. It's so easy to get lost in here. Right, now this is what we were looking for, this little stream bed. So I'll show you from the marker so you can see. So the marker's right there on the edge of the lake, and we literally just go here to the stream. Oh, there's an XP stone here. If I can collect it.
Many more harpies on
Follow the little stream up.
And I do not think they will eat from our hands, so please see that no more soldiers fall prey to harpy songs with a deafness spell if you must.
And then when the stream joins with the path, you'll see like a little wooden, I don't know what we'd call this, some logs and whatnot, and this is the path up the mountain. So that's what you're looking for, that pile of logs and like a, I don't know, the remains of some kind of a stockade or something. Now this is quite a long ride, so what I would tend to do is just keep going on the horse, and once they knock me off the horse and there's a big group surrounding me, deal with them and move on. Now once you've found, the good news, once you've found that path, it's fairly linear, the progression. There really is only one path to follow up to the top areas. And the important thing to do there when you do get to the top is to hit another marker so you can be teleported back there when you need to be.
Consequences.
So again, keep following the path. Admire the view. Some scenery down there. Still following the path. As far as I'm aware, it's the only one you can take. Your next sort of marker is like a waterfall and a bridge going across it. Any minute now. Here it is. I daren't stop to admire the view because something was about to knock me off there. Or some things. But there you go. Quite spectacular. Ooh. Still following the path. And now we're getting closer to the snowy area which harbours the quests. So, the next marker you're looking for is that little wooden stockade in the middle. We circle round to the left of that, or at least we're going to try to. Yeah, and we're looking to get up. See, there's like a sort of a plateau up here where that griffin thing is. That's where we want to be, because the next important bit is on this section. There is a marker up above here on the other side of the stockade thing, and it's really important to hit this one before doing anything else in this area. You can just see the little tent there. So this is your ticket back to this area, the North Harper camp, when you've done your questing. So we're going to drop down now, and you can see a path here, just about. We're going to follow this round, and this path is going to lead us to the a big stockade. Is it the army barracks or something? Now this one especially, they come in waves, and some of them knock you down. So if you haven't got a defense against knockdown, thankfully this one does, but it can be really rough, especially on your own. So I guess we'll find out if Purple is up to it or not. If you want a bit of bonus XP, at the end of each wave you can ring this gong before the DM text suggests another wave is coming. So we'll see how we're going. If you're struggling a bit, or some people are dead and need to be raised or whatever, don't do that. Just see how you're coping. I'd say this is probably the toughest of the 4 flagging quests for the final one. So to start with, they come out of these 2 side things. A popular tactic is to stand at one of the ends and just grab them as they come out. Are they going to come to me or not?
You note that the edges of the arm.
Oh, each wave has one big boss type thing in it, and this is the boss from this particular wave, this Ugrout. Let's try not to let them spread out. We'd like them to be all coming out here if possible. Could go inside there, but I think there are spell wards in there, so I don't particularly relish that option. Nice. Okay, so we're looking good. We'll ring the bell.
Strategist admits. If they couldn't scratch you, what good were they?
Oh, we'll try
Now
to. We've
then,
got cold damage over the time,
show
so we might not
yourselves.
be able to ring the bell. Oh, we did. We got something
Drink
there.
floats. You have something off the minds. Orcs, give them what they want. What they deserve.
So the orcs come out of these drawbridge type things.
From a perch overhead, a great dragon
Oof, don't want to be taking all that.
engages down with a great gate bars entry to mountain fastness.
Oh, where's he beggared off to? Now this is what we don't want, this build-up of these ranged things out here. Definitely not. Actually, build-up of anything is not particularly desirable. Okay, got some more down there. Now they're getting through my temporary hit points a bit here. I'm not surprised the numbers that they're at. Still doing fine for spell points.
The orcs too, says the Netherese mage. Well, you are
Okay, we
calling
can
me
ring the
weak from the strong
bell here.
anyway. A strategist. Oh, mocks the Netherese wizard.
And
I
we've got the
thought you
giants
might need
coming now, which
protection.
come from over
since you're
there. There's two
right,
sides there. Now I've got to be
hill
careful
giants,
with these because they
to
can knock you
arms.
down. I have a defense against knockdown in my epic tree, the sentinel tree, but whether it works against these I don't know. If it does work, these should be reasonably straightforward. If we have troubles, then less so. I think it's working, at least so far. Tentacles for a nice bit of crowd control when there's a big group like this is great. Let's let them build up again. Oh, there's a famine reaper in the middle of all that. Even if it doesn't damage them, the tentacles does sort of stop them all rushing you at once. Now we get the main guy. The quest completes when he's beaten, so focus on him if you can. did I do there? I made a mess of that. Oops, wrong key. We can use that to demonstrate how forgiving the build is. Several mistakes I made there, and still it hasn't really looked like dying. Okay, somebody's still shooting us. I can't see where they are. Or was it just damage over time, possibly? Right, collect up the remnants and chests. And look at the spell points, that's with that evergreen. Even casting away as I was, we still didn't run into any trouble. So even for a tanky build, for the purposes of leveling, it can be a really nice idea to use that. Especially if you're having to level alone, as this one has for most of it. Right, so there's one to go, and that is just to the south of where we are now. It's the... which one is it? Sedi. No, actually, it's not to the south, is it? It's that one there, Mountain Glacier. Again, just following this path all the way, and you can see we're getting close to it. Okay. So this is the last one of the 4 flagging quests for the final one in the chain. Usually, I guess the last one that people do to complete their Evening Star sagas, if that's what they're running for.
Now, inside the glacier, somewhere within this ice, Orophon has arranged to meet the frost giant contact. Torchlight glimmers on fresh-cut ice and cold new timber.
So fairly linear, this one. I'm just going to let them all surround us.
As the path winds deeper into the glacier, the excavation work seems older and somewhat worn. Beyond the drawbridge, fresh air drifts down into the water. Has made a base of operations.
Again, this is perfect for us, everybody crowding in. Apart from the fact I forget then which way I'm going.
The path ahead is wide and elegantly carved, as if by entirely different hands than those below.
turn to
Still
the
not a
east
single
here.
frost giant among the army's host.
I don't know why I'm bothering to pick up these souls, because I don't need them. It's just old habit, I guess. So here you've two choices. You can stay down on the floor and fight, or if you have a ranged character,
A robed
you
figure
can
eyes
go up on
sourly
here
from a ledge above you.
and everything will just drop down below you, and you can do your
First,
things
the
down
dead
there. Like if you're a
frost
caster with
giant.
gobs of AoE, you can just throw some things like that down there and they'll die easy enough, keeping you nice and safe.
This is taking much longer than I had hoped. Why are these minions always so flimsy? Is it the cold?
Okay,
I suppose
so
you
the
want to
floor's
get through
going to
that
collapse
gate
now,
over there.
and we want to be heading this way, out to the east, I think. That's it.
Then I fear you will be... The passage ahead looks different than the areas above.
Keep
There are
forgetting
almost
to
no
take my
signs of the Netherese or
potions
their
for extra
monstrous horde.
spell power.
A massive orb of some kind can be seen through a fissure in the ice. Is this why the Netherese are here? You have found the
Okay.
frost giant.
So now we've got to go and fetch these giants' battle trappings.
My enemy's enemy is not my friend. Rungnir rumbles.
So there's one here just in front of us. They show up glittering like this, just like the collectibles do, the fungus and all that kind of stuff.
You've reached the very roots of the mountains.
I think there's one just up this little ramp, reasonably close to the top. Yeah. And if we drop down here, there's another one. Another one just round this little corner.
Don't win again.
Oh, I almost forgot. So yeah,
Beyond this gate. You have rotten
a group of orcs playing dice in here, and we have a choice. Once it lets us speak to this guy, we have a choice of interaction. Just choose one that you're strong in, if there is one. Failing that, you can fight them. We're quite strong in intimidate, so I'm going for that. So he just says take them and go, so he's going to drop us the battle trappings. So we've got one more to get, which is just around here to the east. There we go. Now you can continue on
You have recovered
and
enough
collect
of Rungnir's
others,
battle
but it's
trappings
only
to
an optional.
satisfy him.
You
Although
don't
he
need to
might
do
be
it, so I'm just
pleased if
going
you
to go
found more.
back the way we've come now to the giant and go to the end fight. That's if I don't go the wrong way. What's happened here? I came from there, didn't I? You know, I'm terrible for pathing. Yeah, they were going back to Rungnir. That's it. This would be a good time for a sprint boost or something. Oh, actually, we do have a bit of something here we can use. That's a little clickable thing from the one purple dragon past life that he has. It was an old bank character, this, that I rescued. It's got 2 cleric, a paladin and a purple dragon past life, just a bit of a hodgepodge.
Ah, good.
So we go through
Hrungnir says, now I may arm for
round to
battle.
the left
Come
and into
this
the
way.
end fight.
The wizard Tharno will be in the great chamber.
Now again, if you're a ranged or a
says the
caster, you
frost
don't have to
giant.
go on
Let
the
us
bottom here. You
meet
can go
there. The wizard
up at the
Tharno
top
stands in the middle
here
of the great cavern ahead.
and fire down
Though
on
he's seen
the
you,
guy
he's
from
you
here.
Again. And you, Hrungnir, as well, I see. There you are, liar, cries the frost giant, storming into the room. What are you really doing in my glacier? What are your true plans? That is not for you to know, you vainglorious giant. You have outlived your welcome.
Okay, so if you wait a little bit, the wizard will engage the giant first, or you can just pile straight in.
I'm just getting started.
Now when he says that,
Don't look so proud of yourself.
no, it's the next one, when he comes up with another dialogue, the wizard.
I'm outnumbered.
Yes, about being outnumbered. He brings these elementals in. Now I would still focus on the giant, sorry, on the wizard in the middle, because once he dies, all the other things do too.
You have solved.
Okay. So now the giant has a little chuckle to himself, and then he turns on us, and we've got to beat him to win the quest.
Before I add your corpses to the pile. Still here. This glacier shall be your grave.
You might have noticed I never actually swing the weapon. It's just a caster stick, giving some more spell power for him, for the leveling.
will die in battle. No shame.
So, we're gonna recall twice now. Or finish and recall. Hand in those 4 quests that we've done. And that will open up the 5th one. The what goes up. As in, what goes up must come down. So, recalling. Now the thing I dislike most about the what goes up quest is the one of the mechanics towards the end where this special type of enemies pop up and the screen all starts going funny purpley colour, and because there's also a chance to fall down into the middle of the glacier at that point, it's not nice to have the screen like that. I just don't like it. Aside from that, I think it's a fittingly grand ending to a chain or an elixir of major mnemonic enhancement. I like to take those and try to sell them on the auction house for astral shards. So I'll lock that if I can find where it went. Oh, I've got 2 now. Right, so those are traded in, and now you'll see this one is open to us, and this is where the touching of that harper marker, the north camp, becomes very important, because if we hadn't touched it we would have to run all the way back up, whereas now we can go straight there. And our path, I think, is up here to the... yeah, it's telling us on the map, look, that's where we're going. And we'll be going this way. So we went that way towards the army camp. This is the way to the... you can circle round either way, but I think it's quicker if you're just going to the final quest, the what goes up, to go this way. It's a big experience quest, the what goes up, which is fair enough as it takes quite a bit of doing, especially if like this you're alone. Unless like me you're kind of cheating and using evergreen or some other form of restoring mana, especially with a caster. I would be wary of trying it on the higher levels like the Reaper, unless you have a very strong build or you're like level 29 already. Because several times I've run out of spell points in the end fight here, and that doesn't end well. Okay.
Pale light filters into the glacier's depths. Somewhere farther in, horrifies being held.
You could see they were all saving against the spell, but they all were slowed at least by it, which was a help.
Suffer the consequences.
Freshly constructed woodwork spirals up into the glacier.
There's a jeweled
You
key
have
there. I
found
can
an
show you what
ornate
that's used for
jeweled
later.
key.
It's not particularly
It must
important.
be useful to the Netherese somehow.
So we're just making our way through. As that lot popped up, I was wondering which way to go. It's down here. Yeah, I think that's a dead end anyway, so you go down to the south. Okay. So heading still in a vaguely southerly direction.
Welcome to your doom!
You don't have to kill them all on your way up. But there are so many opponents in this one, I'd rather not have a dungeon alert by running past them.
Destined.
Well, that wasn't good, took a big hit there. And pressed the wrong key.
You have
Okay.
found your way
That's the
into the
first
heart
phase
of
done.
the glacier at last. Bright light plays off the walls on the path ahead. You must not be far
So
from the
first of all
surface.
here, we have to make our way into the middle area where there's a dragon and its wizard master. We need to unlock the rest of the area, because as you can see, quite a bit of it is blocked off to us at the moment. So we can open this middle section with the orb.
floats beside a barrier, almost as
Now
if
we
the
need to
two
kill these two.
These two golden orbs are clearly
Okay.
more sophisticated than the one by
Now
the
I tend to
door.
choose the attempt to use UMD. Actually, we have no. We'll use the UMD. I try and open everything, because even if you fail, I don't think there's a. It still opens
Something
everything.
has gone horribly wrong.
I don't think there's
As the
a horrible
winds
penalty
bury,
for it.
something has
You
gone
get
horribly
access to
wrong.
everything.
As the
So
winds
that's just how I do
barriers
it.
drop,
So now
angry calls echo up
we're
and
looking-
down the halls.
That's still blocked because that's the way onwards. There's a couple of crests. Now we need to find a wolf crest around this area, and also a harper guy somewhere in this area, which is there, look.
There you are. Right. We don't have a
Orifon.
moment to spare.
So we speak to
Right.
him.
Let's meet before
and then we
hidden
search for
behind
the
a
crest.
banner at the back of the cell is a gold Netherese orb.
So we're just
Curiously,
looking for a
there
wolf
is a
crest, and then
small
we've got to go
silver
back to that
key
area where
on
we
its
just
side.
were. As far as I know, it can be in any of these little cubby holes off to the side. Look out for like a glittering barrel or something, or it can be on the floor in one of the areas. It's a good time to split up if you're in a group and everybody searches their own little area. Can be tucked behind here sometimes. So whereas before all these areas were blocked off before I went into the middle to confront the dragon and the wizard, now everything is open. A silver key, but no crest. I'll show you the silver key optional for the sake of completeness. There's nothing there, is there? Nothing there. Nope. Okay. Those assassins with the swinging chains, very quickly you can be dazed and in big trouble because they do quite some nasty damage as well. So just be wary of them. Crowd control them or target them first if you can. So this is the silver key optional. That through there is like a mini boss. So where is the silver key room? Let me try and remember. It's one of these up here, I think, is it? Or maybe even this one here. That's the, yeah, it says path to central chamber, so that's where we're going when we find the crest. Yeah, this is the silver key thing. The silver key unlocks this control orb thing.
The key fits neatly into the nether
which allows us to
Somewhere
go
nearby,
down
a barrier
past
has
this red
fallen.
barrier that we just saw. There's Orifon waiting for us. He has the other crest, the back one.
Long fingers of darkness pour out from the corner cell. A shape and heretic will emerge.
Just beat him down and it'll give us a bit of experience. And another of those jeweled keys, I think, of which more later.
As the shade
Okay.
falls, something shatters in the cell she
So
came
yes, we have
from.
another jeweled key, so we've got
Small
two of those
key
now,
tinkles to the ground.
and it gave us a bit of extra experience. Probably not worth doing, you know, just in terms of time spent to do that, but I wanted to show it for the sake of completeness. We're still looking for this crest. Nope. Getting a little bit worried now because we've more or less checked everything. I think we've been in here before actually for the crest. I'm sure if it was in a container it would I don't think it can be in a container. So this is the only bit we haven't been that's blacked out, and wouldn't you just know it, it's there on the floor. Unreal. The number of times in this game when things can appear in a random location, it's in the last possible place you haven't looked. So back now to the meeting point to Orifon.
You have the
Put
crest.
the crest in.
Well, what are you waiting for? Now, in the chamber ahead is the Mythala. Ah, and it seems the
Just
spell
tap
to
on the
awaken
orb
it has
here.
already begun. Go on. I'll guard your back. The head wizard Celadat.
This guy will eventually end up fighting you, but some of the minions come after you first. It's not too bad, they just come in like ones and twos. Eventually, once you knock a few down, he decides to come to the fight.
Says Celadat.
I can finish the spell once I detect you.
Okay, good stuff.
Celadat
So a bit of a
curses
cutscene now.
the breath.
You have only hastened Cormyr's demise.
We were a bit late to stop the spell. I'm
And now,
afraid. But
the way
look,
onwards
one of the
is a little
marvels
bit
vanished, alive
obscure
before our
through
eyes.
here.
Now, we must
You
not
can
lose
see by
hope.
the doorway,
We
but if
live
you
yet.
didn't know, it's not
And as my
immediately
uncle
obvious
always
that that's the
says,
way onwards.
A hunt silver never quits the chase.
So this, I think, is quite a nice end
You
to
are
the
greeted
quest. Look
by
at this.
cold whipping winds and the brightness of an open sky. The glacier has
Fittingly
taken to the
grand.
air.
Just be careful you don't fall, because I think it might even be a death and you get teleported back to this res shrine here if that happens.
The battlements of an entire army cover the glacier. The Netherese never meant to march on the glacier. They meant to fly straight to its heart.
It's a bit of a welcoming committee. And I think there's going to be plenty more here. I think they all pop up in here, don't they? Yes. There's going to be several waves spawning from inside here. Poor thing's taking a hammering. Okay.
The gate comes down. Giants' angry bellows issue from beyond.
there. We're trying to make our way to the top of the very top of the thing to confront the main guy. If you've never seen this before. A lever here to pull to go a bit further. Famine somewhere. Ah. Should have stopped those archers much sooner. They were absolutely hammering me. So this is the place where we're gonna make use of the jeweled keys.
A magic
As far as I know, you can't
secures the
fail this
storeroom.
one.
The magic barrier to the storeroom.
But then
Amid the
you have a
storeroom
choice of 4
are
chests to open.
4 ornate chests,
Some of which can
each with a
contain nothing,
jeweled key.
and some contain treasure. Now, if you examine them, does it give a clue? Sure to contain treasure. Okay, well, let's try that then. Alright, let's examine this one. Because some of them you open and they don't. Okay. Nice. So is there a different description for some of these? No, it all says sure to contain treasure, so maybe I just got lucky, because I'm sure that some of them you can't. So the jeweled keys are the ways to open those chests. I don't know if you can pick them with a rogue. I suspect not. Or an open lock. I tell you what, I have an open lock spell. I can try that just in the interests of experimentation. No. So you have to have a jeweled key if you want to open those. There's nothing particularly interesting in them anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And now we're making our way to the grand finale. Now up here, as far as I'm aware, this is another reason you can easily run out of spell points. The respawns up here, they just keep coming and coming and coming until you either die or complete the quest. So that's something to bear in mind. Here we are.
Well, you again.
So be wary of the drop down there. You can fall down there into the middle, and then you just die immediately, and you get transported to that resurrection shrine I showed earlier.
Despite the nuisance,
It's
my
especially
invasion
important to
still
bear in mind when the screen all goes
Now,
purple. Just try not to loiter near the middle
first
section.
victims.
So first job, if you've not seen this before, is to get the pillars down. There's a pillar there in front of me.
I do have an entire army at my
So I'm going to try
I am more than willing
to
use it.
hit the pillar at the same time as the opponent. Easier said than done. think we're hitting it there. Nice, okay, we got one. Let's try and keep moving, because as I say, they do respawn. Now, Amskar is the main bad guy of the piece. You can knock him down a bit while he's teleporting around if you see him next to you, but you can't actually kill him until it's time to do that at the end of the quest. I've no idea if all my spells are damaging it, because I can't see the numbers from down here. Okay.
Here we
If
are.
they just want to sit down there, the here we are is Amskar teleporting. He flits around regularly, so feel free to knock him down a little bit if he appears next to you. You can't actually kill him, but you can make it so that when it's time to kill him,
My minion is there.
you are close to doing so. Okay.
I'll deal with you myself.
Oh, hello. Well, that was a short stay. Right, so there are 4 pillars in total. We're just going on to the last one. I want to know if these...
How about here?
Oh, he's immune to poison, but not to acid. So they does do something to him.
Time to move.
Okay, that's great. So now we have the next sort of thing we'll hear from Amskar will be about the elementals popping up, I think. And see this section that comes out, it's so easy to fall down there when the screen goes purple. That's why you try and stay towards the left side of the area and move as little as possible when the screen does go purple. We're just waiting now for this. I don't know if we need to kill some more people or what to advance this now. There are going to be a series of ice elemental, sorry, yeah, is it rock elemental, ice elemental, something like that pop up, but maybe we need to kill a certain number of his troops first, I don't know. In which case I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Let's try it. Doesn't seem to be doing much, they just respawn, don't they? Ah, here we go. Right.
That's what you are. Don't you realize
So
there is
maybe
an
it's
entire
related to
army on
numbers,
this
how many you've
glacier?
killed in the quest, I don't know. 2, 4, 5. So now we get these, can you see there? It's an interesting little ambush. So we've got to eliminate all these things. And once we've done that, It's gonna be my least favourite part. The purple screen job. Oh, we got another one there. Oh, well, a whole load of them over there. I think you can definitely begin to see why this section in particular would be such a drain on spell points if you didn't have some kind of a mechanic to get many more. Because there's no shrine up here. Now, is he the last one? He might be. Okay, let's get away from this drop-off area because I think the purple thing's coming. So I'm on the left-hand side of it. Right, so we're looking for these Shadavar things. Like that. Try and get them to come to you if you can, because walking around too much is not recommended when the screen is like this and we can't quite see what we're doing. I think that's gonna die, is it? Yeah. Okay, we've got another one over here. Now you can see these little pillars are the markers of the edge of the sort of top bit that we're on. So as long as we're inside those, we know we're not going to fall. Okay, that's good. 2 more to go. Again, we're going to try and use these pillars as the markers. There's another one over there, a crown one. Don't like the look of that.
Time to move.
Nice, okay. We'll have the temerity to open a chest mid-battle. That's Amskar, but where is the... where's the last one? It's over there, look. Once you hit them, they generally come towards you and engage, so... that's not too much of a problem. And once the last of the 4 disappears, which is this one, the screen will mercifully revert to standard colour again. So now, all we have to do to win is get rid of Amskar, who is now killable. I say all we have to do, he can take some finding. I tend to just try and circle round and see if I can locate the bugger. And again, you still have these groups of opponents endlessly respawning. They seem to disappear there for a second, that lot. Looking for Amscar. I suppose I could invis to try and make it a bit easier. So once you kill him, there's this funny little optional jump off the flying glacier, which I'll try and demonstrate, but I've never quite mastered it. It's just like an optional 7,000 or so experience if you can demonstrate that you're no longer on this main top area. Here we are. Where is he? Where are you? He's over there. Okay. Let's see if we can nab him. Oh, the bugger. Now where is he? Over there. Stay and fight, you coward. Oh, neg levels. My death ward must have run out. We're almost there. Nice. Okay, great stuff. So now is the jumping optional, it'll say. So I think what I try and do, look, it's just said jump off the glacier. Try and get to a place where you're not on the top section and just do some jumpy and eventually it'll pick it up like there. But it's quite fiddly, that mechanic, unless there's a much easier way to approach it than I obviously have. So now you just get to admire the end.
Well, that was a narrow scrape.
Where is he?
What's that? Over there, look!
There we go. I have a few chests to claim.
By me, for honor, and for the crown!
So then you would just recall, hand in this one, and if you wanted to, claim your Evening Star Sagas if this was the last one in the chains for that. Many people like to leave them unclaimed to get a big head start on another epic life, if that's what they're choosing to do. People often will do more than... oh, come on. People will often do more than one epic life during their time in the epics, especially the... oh, god damn it, especially the newer characters, because to most people's mind, and mine too, the epic past lives are the ones generally that are worth more. You can get well, if you didn't know, for each divine past life you get 3 PRR, physical resistance rating, plus whatever active you choose. You can choose one like Brace, which is popular, which gives +1 to all saves per time you've taken it. Primal, I think, give bonuses to hit points as well as whatever bonus you select for the active toggle. Like for a caster, you can get, I think you can get Colours of the Queen from there, which you can have random effects triggering on opponents on spell casts. Martial gives extra armor class for each time those are taken, and the Probably the least desirable one in terms of the bonus it gives. I think it gives 1% elemental absorption per time, the arcane one. I'm not saying some of the active ones aren't nice, because they are, but in terms of the sort of beefing up the character, the PRR and hit points and armor class, they make the most difference when you TR back down to level 1 or 2. That's when you really see the difference. Suddenly things are, you'll have a pack of things around you, and rather than getting beaten to a pulp, things are beginning to miss you. When you start getting back to the epics, this little bit of armor class, it's less of a difference. It still helps, but less so. It's the biggest place you feel it is when you're starting again a new life. If you have half a dozen past lives behind you, you will begin to notice a difference then, for sure. Right, I've waffled on for long enough. This has been the Stormhorns Chain. I hope it's been of help to one or two of you, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.